Nevada. It's the AFC NFC Pro Bowl. As we'll see Aaron Rodgers and the NFC versus Patrick Mahomes and the AFC.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It is always exciting to see the very best the NFL has to offer all in one place. And we have that here this afternoon as we welcome you to Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The best players the NFL has to offer on one stage. The AFC NFC Pro Bowl underway here in Vegas. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. They're led by the NFL's MVP in 2018 and also MVP of Super Bowl 54 in his 5th season. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Well documented that he's the son of a former Major League pitcher. But Pat has always said that football has fired him up in a way that baseball just didn't. He always wanted to be a football player. Still has the big arm that his father had, and he uses it to send the ball downfield in a big way.
Forced out, and right away he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And he will take this back. A fumble return for an NFC touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. So now the AFC offense here coming back out for their second drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
And Derrick Henry with the ball in his hands, what a sight to behold, because power and speed involved in every touch for him. Coming off another spectacular season with the Titans, he became the first since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and 2007 to win 2 straight rushing titles, and he did it with style too. Just the 8th man to top 2,000 yards and the first since Adrian Peterson.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, now in his 17th season out of Cal. It's Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Oh, look at the juke. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That good for 22 and a first down. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Rodgers. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. DeAndre Hopkins there to make the grab. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a handoff to Henry. There's the stiff arm. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And Diggs has it. And oh, he coughed it up. And it's scooped up by the NFC. Oh, he shifts past him. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball, because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A give. This is Cook. Darius Leonard, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play. And Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Now Rodgers. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
And Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. Back out is the AFC offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
17-0, our score after 1. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Going deep for Diggs. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. 70 yards. And the AFC strikes quickly there for 6. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's 17-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The offense for the NFC back out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Good, strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook able to escape, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup there.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. 2nd in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Cook. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Chris Jones, the all-pro defensive tackle, there to make the play defensively.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. The AFC set to take over on offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He completes it to Henry. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, how about that reaction there from a defensive end? Able to recognize the screen pass trying to happen, broke off his pass rush, and then get back to tackle the running back. That's a very athletic and intelligent play. Reminds me of you working out and seeing that the treadmill's open and getting there before anyone else.
See, I know you're just patronizing me right now. Everybody knows at home that is nothing but a shot at me, and I'll take it, absorb it, and we'll move on.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Henry. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The AFC punt team out there now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's taken to the 26. Shifts by him. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. One final possession for the NFC in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking deep for Adams. Oh, Adams, what a grab. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have come upon halftime of this Pro Bowl with the NFC on top of the AFC. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We got an excellent first half from the former MVP, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The NFC offense heads out to begin this third quarter. Starting the third quarter with Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9. On play action. Now Rodgers. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A gain there of 30 big ones. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The numbers for the NFC on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown NFC. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 2 yards out. And the NFC adds on to their lead. I tell you, you get the ball down near the goal line, you can be pretty sure that Dalvin Cook is going to get the carry, and he powers his way into the end zone.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that really runs downhill, and what I mean by that, hits a line with such speed and power that tacklers just bounce off of him. In a sense, it feels like the field is tilted, and he's running downhill at the defenders and gaining extra force.
Cook, they'll try and run it. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. And it's so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The AFC about ready to take over on offense. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Now Mahomes. It's complete to Diggs. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Mahomes going to throw. Henry's got it out on the left side. 1 yard to go on third down. Now it's Mahomes again. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Mahomes now on first down. This will go to Henry out wide. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Man open left side is Brown. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. They go play fake. Mahomes. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Keenan Allen there to make the grab. And the AFC able to cut into the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that lines up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it is gobbled up by the NFC. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The NFC about ready to set up shop offensively. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, it's Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their 2nd, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now the AFC going to use their final timeout of the half as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
All right, just go ahead and say it with me. That was a
mistake,
yeah,
for sure.
Without a doubt, because at some point, put your foot in the ground, get upfield, and get down, protecting the ball. Don't go out of bounds, because when you go out of bounds, you're really just helping the defense.
Yeah, not to be too hyperbolic, but it's like giving the D an extra timeout, isn't it?
It certainly is. Gives them a chance to regroup, and it means you have to snap the ball in additional time, which always means the possibility of a mistake.
On 3rd down, it's Cook. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.